You can also get 0.
It doesn't look like 4th of July.
There's a lot less people around.
An Independence Day like we haven't seen in years. We'll take you downtown for the sights and sound all over the Coachella Valley.
And we've been told in no uncertain terms that the state will continue to evaluate.
Plus, what went wrong in California's coronavirus response? We'll talk to experts and find out.
And the most important thing I would say to people is if you do go out to a gathering or in public, please wear a face covering.
And a message from the U.S. Surgeon General pleading with the American public to wear a mask this holiday season. And we've got Jerry. He's in for Mike tonight. Hey, Jerry.
Hey there, yeah, it was a hot one today, but average, ordinary kind of hot. But those numbers start moving up tomorrow. A lot of sunshine over the next couple of afternoons. We'll peak into next week as well. Forecast on the way.
This is NBC Palm Springs.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us for the only hour-long local evening newscast. I'm Sarah Sanchez.
And I'm Gino Lamont. Topping our news this evening. The 4th of July, traditionally a big weekend for tourists here in the Coachella Valley, but this year, downtown Palm Springs has seen a lot less foot traffic. The bars are closed and indoor dining is prohibited. And Palm Springs is under a mandatory mask order. Our Olivia Sandusky joins us live from downtown wearing her mask and joins us with the very latest. Olivia, good evening.
Good evening, Gino. That's right. I've got it on. And beaches are closed mostly around this state. We've seen fireworks shows get canceled. So there are some light crowds here tonight in downtown Palm Springs, but of course, much less than we've seen in years past. And store owners told me today they don't think it'll be enough to help them get through the rest of summer. Groups of shoppers wander downtown to kick off the holiday weekend, but locals say the crowds aren't what they're used to.
It doesn't look like 4th of July.
There's a lot less people around.
As customers visit shops or grab a meal,
I have portraits that I do.
Some store owners are keeping their expectations low.
To me, this is going to be no different than any other Monday or Tuesday. Hopefully people are being safe, and hopefully people who come here are respectful and know that you have to wear a mask on the sidewalks.
So far, hotel parking lots remain relatively quiet, and several fireworks shows have been canceled around the Coachella Valley, leaving many to compare this weekend to years past.
This gallery would be filled to the brim with people, and we serve wine. Obviously, it's not going to be a lot of people, and we can't let more people in than 2 at a time, so that's another issue.
Or maybe a Hawaiian. Let's do a Hawaiian.
And while some staff members encourage shoppers to venture out,
we'd love to see people down and having a good time, and we can keep our distance and still enjoy the sunshine.
Trevor says more visitors should come with increased enforcement of health restrictions.
Or at least actually police it. As far as I've seen personally, there is no repercussions for anything. You know, if we want our businesses to stay open and safe, everyone's got to respect the rules. And people just doing whatever they want with no repercussions is, in my opinion, we got our bars shut back down.
And the city of Palm Springs tells me they are increasing enforcement over the weekends and for the 4th of July holiday. They say they will be handing out citations if they feel it's necessary. Reporting live for NBC Palm Springs, I'm Olivia Sandusky.
The Palm Springs Air Museum will host several events for the 4th of July weekend. A flyover will pass over the valley tomorrow night. Planes will start in Yucca Valley around 6:15 and then circle the valley from west to east. They'll also host a blood drive from 10 to 3. The museum recently reopened after being closed for months.
And with most California's famous coastlines shut down, instead of heading to the ocean, lots of folks headed to inland lakes to celebrate the 4th. Parking lots and campgrounds are packed like in Lake Tahoe, and lines there for boat inspections are taking some people 6 hours to get through.
And we're following this breaking news in Big Bear. A live look now at the fire burning there. It's fast moving and has burned about 65 acres so far. There are mandatory evacuations for Running Springs, south of Highway 18 and south of School Road. The fire's burning on Keller Peak, and those campgrounds have been evacuated as well. It was reported just after 3 this afternoon. State Route 330 is closed, but we are tracking this fire. 65 plus acres burning at this hour. We're taking a live look now from our Agua Caliente Casino cam in Rancho Mirage. NBC Palm Springs meteorologist Jerry Steffen is in for Mike Everett this evening. He's got a look at your local forecast if you're staying home. Jerry.
Well, let's check Running Springs where that fire is right now. We have 70 degrees. Temperature hasn't changed much over the past hour, and winds steady at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. And the direction hasn't changed at all. The winds are coming out of the south-southeast, pushing the smoke to the north-northwest. 31% relative humidity. Still triple digits around the Coachella Valley. Up north, 80s and 90s. Doing our temp check here. 99 at 29 Palms. Clear skies, 98 degrees at Desert Hot Springs. Hot at 106 at Coachella. Palm Desert, 107. Same for Cathedral City, 103. Rancho Mirage. Clear skies over the valley. A lot of sunshine over the next couple of days. We do have some moisture over Arizona. That's where the monsoonal moisture is. And we did see thunderstorms still lingering in that area. Even some lightning still happening with those storms as the that pushes its way to the northeast. We're in a dry weather pattern that will continue through tomorrow. Tomorrow, slightly hotter than it was yesterday, 110 to 113. Onshore flow light tomorrow, but all sunshine. Dew points a little higher tomorrow, too. We'll see them just below 50 degrees by the middle of the afternoon. And keep in mind, those triple digits begin at 11 o'clock tomorrow, eventually getting to 110. Comfort Air 3-day forecast, 110 for Saturday, the 4th of July. 5th of July is going to be a little hotter, 112. Could even see a 114 here or there in the Coachella Valley, and then 111 for Palm Springs on Monday. Again, lots of sunshine. Full forecast and all the numbers coming away in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Jerry.
Coronavirus coverage brought to you by East Valley COVID-19 testing site, serving residents of eastern Coachella Valley.
Don't panic, keep calm, and carry on. That's the message today from Eisenhower Health. They wrote it on their Facebook page. They're experiencing the highest number of COVID-19 inpatients since the beginning of the pandemic. They also posted this picture with the caption saying, quote, "We stay here for you. Please stay home for us."
Yeah, with coronavirus cases steadily climbing in the county with no plateau in sight, we have to ask ourselves, how did we get here? Our Kitty Alvarado is live now from Eisenhower Health, and she spoke with county officials to find out what went wrong and how we can turn this all around. Kitty.
Well, Sarah, the county is trying to balance controlling the virus and reopening our economy, and that just doesn't seem to be working. That's why the state is cracking down on counties like ours that are seeing a surge. In just a matter of weeks, the state went from being a model of control to losing control altogether.
California is seeing record numbers of coronavirus cases after flattening the curve. Riverside County's spike is so concerning, the governor ordered the accelerated reopenings to be dialed back. Restaurants can no longer have indoor dining, and bars were ordered closed. Bruce Barton, the county's director of emergency management, says the state is monitoring our county closely, and more action will be taken if the surge continues.
We've been told in no uncertain terms that the state will continue to evaluate and they will continue to take the actions that are necessary to blunt this surge that is going on statewide.
In the last 2 weeks alone, the county has seen nearly 6,000 new cases.
Our testing positivity rate in the last few weeks has gone up. The statewide benchmark is to not be over 8%, and we're up in the 13% area right now.
Surge in hospitalizations and ICU capacity are two of the reasons the county is on the state's watch list. Barton says the theory that people from outside our county and country accounting for the spike is not true.
There's all kinds of urban myths about this. Black helicopters flying people in the dead of night, and I mean that has not been the case. As of yesterday, we had a total of 6 in our 17 acute care hospitals.
In April, the county took a strong stance ordering face coverings to be worn when leaving the home. In those 2 weeks, the county only added 48 new cases. A month later, after pushback, the mask order was rescinded. 2 weeks later, there were over 1,700 new cases. Then came the accelerated reopening. 2 weeks after that, there were 2,300 new cases. And 2 weeks after the protests, there were more than 3,200. Barton says there's not one reason or event for the surge. All are contributing, but mainly people are going about their business like there's no pandemic.
It remains to this day a stay-at-home order. Everybody is only supposed to go out for certain reasons, right? And when they do, they need to go out safely and they need to go out responsibly. That's really what we need to get people to focus on.
So while people think we're out of the woods, the reality is we're in the woods and there's a wildfire.
If they want to go back to their normal lives, they need to do so within the context of following guidelines that include the hand washing, the facial coverings, the social distancing.
The county's coronavirus cases are doubling every 25 days, and that number is shrinking. That's why hospitals like this one are bearing the brunt. And that's why the county is really urging everyone not to attend gatherings or host them, because they say we will see another surge in another 2 weeks, and more than likely the hospitals will get overwhelmed and will get in more trouble with the state. Reporting live from Rancho Mirage, Kitty Alvarado, NBC Palm Springs.
All right, thank you, Kitty. Taking a look at today's numbers, a shocking new total today. 730 cases reported, 198 in the Coachella Valley, 14 new deaths countywide, 6 of those deaths here in the desert. Indio continues to have the most cases at 1,509. Indio also now has the most deaths with 34.
Riverside County is now allowing online appointments for county-operated testing sites. Health officials continue to encourage everyone, those with and without symptoms, to get screened for the virus. You can make an appointment at the website on your screen. And we have a You Ask, We Investigate report tonight. SoCal Edison is issuing some answers about what happened Wednesday night in Palm Springs when 1,500 people lost power in the middle of the day with triple-digit heat. A viewer emailed us saying they and some other residents saw sparks and smoke coming out of their outlets. SoCal Edison tells us they had 2 substations that suffered equipment failures. They said any homes that had damage can file a claim online. And remember, if you have a problem or a story you would like us to look into, you can always email us news@NBCPalmSprings.com.
Yeah, in case you missed this one, Monsignor Howard Lincoln of Sacred Heart in Palm Desert is staying on the job for another year. Now, he had announced his retirement earlier this year, saying he would step down in June, but since then, the Bishop of the Archdiocese has asked him to stay just for one more year. And for the first time in 20 years, Father Lincoln will have an associate to help him out. Father Tyler Tripp will be on hand with Father Lincoln over the next year.
Well, coming up after the break, not wearing a mask in West Hollywood could cost you hundreds of dollars. We'll tell you how much and what they're doing to enforce this.
President Trump set to speak at Mount Rushmore for a 4th of July event, but there'll be no social distancing. Mask wearing will not be enforced in a crowd of nearly 10,000. We'll have a live look coming up.
Plus, it's the only 4th of July fireworks show in the Coachella Valley. But if you don't feel comfortable leaving the house just yet, we've got you covered. Details straight ahead.
What's integrity? It means saying what you do and doing what you say. That's what everyone needs when they have to reach out for help. Helping accident victims who can't help themselves requires a lot of hard work, and most importantly, caring. I'm Walter Clark. I know how important this is after someone is hurt or taken from us. We are the people you need.
Dr. Roland Reinhardt is a double board-certified pain management physician. Dr. Reinhardt will eliminate the cause of your pain or
Take a look at this line of cars as people wait to get tested in San Jose. Some families waited for hours at Cal State East Bay and Silver Creek High in San Jose. Organizers at Silver Creek say they did 820 tests on Wednesday.
Six Flags Magic Mountain in Vallejo has officially reopened after being shut down since March. But before you saddle up and head down there, yeah, the rides aren't open. Nothing that's indoors is open, but it turns out they have a zoo. Who knew that? That'll be open. Now you got to wear a face mask and you got to make a reservation online and get your temperature checked at the gate. But I stress, you're going to Magic Mountain and the rides aren't open.
As California counties try to figure out how to get people to wear masks, West Hollywood is taking the approach of education first and then enforcement. Rachel Kim has more.
The governor's orders is everybody must wear a mask when they're out in public at this time. So, you have one? Okay.
Beginning today, if you're out in West Hollywood and not wearing a mask, you can face a fine of $300. Deputies from a special operations team at the West Hollywood Sheriff's Station are now out on the streets focused on enforcement.
I know you got your mask around your neck, But per the governor's orders, make sure you wear it, okay?
I don't want to write any citations. I certainly hope that people choose to comply, but we have that as an option. It's extra teeth to what we're currently doing.
Captain Edward Ramirez says since the state issued the mask order, deputies have been educating residents about the requirement. But because of the recent alarming spike in coronavirus cases, the city decided to crack down on people who don't wear a mask in public.
In the city of West Hollywood, we do have an elderly population. We do have a population whose immune systems are compromised. And we're not willing to take that risk with our community.
The enforcement team will be out on designated days and times. And when they come across someone who's not wearing a mask, deputies will ask them if they have one. If they don't, the deputies will offer them one and say,
"We need you to put this on while you're in the boundaries of the city of West Hollywood." And our hope is that person will comply. If the person refuses to comply, we'll tell them that they're going to have to leave the city limits, and if they refuse to leave the city limits, then we will issue a citation.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, I think people need to take this seriously.
I think it's a great plan. I think that it's just looking out for everyone's safety.
I do think a financial consequences is a way to get the message across.
When it comes to enforcing the mask mandate, most local agencies have chosen not to. The LAPD tells us our posture has been to educate and seek voluntary compliance, and that is how we will continue moving forward.
We're not doing anything different than any other police department in the state of California can do. We're just deciding to do it now.
All right, coming up next, we've got Jerry standing by the big green wall. Hey, Jerry.
Yeah, a few things to talk about. It was hot today, but getting hotter tomorrow. Lots of sunshine over the Coachella Valley today, but we'll see more tomorrow. Sun sets at 8:01 officially at Palm Springs. Full forecast is 7 day. That's next.
Dateline tonight. A girl's night out leaves a best friend missing.
She would have been with me. She would have been safe.
The investigation that led to a surprising end.
And the history of my department.
All right, well, we're headed into the 4th of July weekend. Sarah, any big plans for the holiday?
I'm so excited to stay home. I really am. And this quarantine has kind of turned me into a homebody, I think. A little bit, just a little bit, but I am excited to stay home.
You're gonna stay and watch fireworks right here over on the KPSC?
Of course, you know I'm not gonna deal with the crowds. Not a crowd girl. Never.
And why?
Never have been. I actually haven't been that way about 4th of July. I don't like the crowds no matter what, even before coronavirus. But yeah, you're gonna have to be out there though with the crowds.
Yes.
It's more the parking the driving thing, you know?
Yeah, but they're gonna put fewer cars this year. People are being encouraged to stay in their cars to watch the fireworks.
Yeah.
So it should be all right.
Yeah, I'm laughing because we're being told by our director, okay, it's time to go to get to Jerry. He hates his conversation.
Television, and Jerry just wants to do his job.
Well, I do have this question. Is there any way of watching the fireworks on your television at home?
Yes, there is. As a matter of fact, thank you for asking, Jerry. You can watch it live on KPSE or right here on NBC Palm Springs, a replay at 11 o'clock. Jerry, thanks for asking.
I'm glad I asked, yes. Walter Clark Cam, a lot of clear skies over the valley. Like I said, sunset, 8:01 this evening. And tomorrow we're going to see more of the same. A lot of sunshine. 108 our high today, 106 our average, kind of a normal day today. But we're going to add a few degrees, and we're going to slide above 110 tomorrow. Right now, 104, Desert Hot Springs, 106 at Coachella, 99, 29 Palms, clear skies, 91 degrees at Cabazon. We did have fog west of the San Gorgonio Pass this morning. Not going to be the case for the next couple of days. That clears out. The marine layer gone for the next few days ahead of us, and we're going to see lots of sunshine. Satellite imagery, yeah, not much going on right now. Some clouds over Arizona. That's where that moisture is right now. We did see a lot of thunderstorms that developed late in the morning and continue in the northern part of the state. That stays to our east as we move into Saturday, and a little hotter too. 110 to 113, the range of highs. All sunshine tomorrow as that ridge begins to strengthen over the southwest. Dew points a little higher too. A tad bit of humidity in the air. We'll see upper 40s by the middle of the afternoon, and keep in mind those triple digits begin at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's going to be a hot one. 110 at Palm Springs, 111 at Indio, triple digits up north in the high desert, almost 100 degrees at Cabazon under sunshine tomorrow. Overnight lows, if you're out late 4th of July evening, temperatures will bottom out in the low 80s around the Coachella Valley. Then that high really begins to strengthen more on Sunday and Monday. We could see some 113s, 114s in the Coachella Valley, specifically on Sunday, 112 under sunshine at Palm Springs, 113 at Indio. A lot of clear skies. Could see maybe a mountain cloud early tomorrow morning. Otherwise, we're talking totally clear skies all the way through the middle of next week. Surface moisture basically in the 40-degree range tomorrow. That backs off a little bit. Drier air moves in. Middle of the day, relative humidity Sunday, Monday, Tuesday could see some single digits. So we are drying out. Here's a couple things that are going to be cool. On the 4th of July, tomorrow night, keep in mind we have a partial lunar eclipse. It'll peak at around 9:30. What you'll see is kind of a shading of the moon and maybe a reddish tint. Also, late Sunday, early Monday, we got a group of celestial sights in the sky. Looking to the south at about 40, 45 degrees up. Once again, late Sunday, early Monday, Saturn, Jupiter, and Moon will be the brightest objects, and there's Mars to the left, social distancing. Okay, our Comfort Air 7-day forecast, 110 tomorrow, 112. Going to be a little toasty on Sunday, drier too. Monday, 111, still up there Tuesday before the numbers back off, but still we're talking hot, folks.
All right, we gave you a reason to stay at home on Saturday. Now here's a good reason to stay home on Sunday. NBC Palm Springs will bring you 3 straight hours of local programming. That's Sunday night from 5 to 8 o'clock. We've got 3 full hours of broadcasting. We'll have a full hour of news. There's a brand new Our Desert Pass special we want you to see. At 6:30, the Waring International Piano Competition will air. And then at 7 o'clock, the weekly Rundown 2020 graduation special. That's going to run as well. So we hope you can join us on Sunday night for 3 hours of local programming. We'll be right back after the break.
Having the opportunity to experience the Palm Desert protests from an aerial view was absolutely surreal. Getting to update you from a minute-by-minute, second-by-second basis was very, very essential.
I want to show you a live look from above.
To be able to see that in the helicopter was extremely important for me as a journalist and for me as a person.
NBC Palm Springs, where the reporting is the difference.
You're ready to drive again, and not just to the neighborhood store. In a new Honda, you can enjoy the open road with powerful performance. And your money can go farther too, because Honda holds its value better than any other auto brand. Your Honda dealer is offering flexibility, like shopping online, so you can purchase with confidence. Get your new Honda today. KBB.com's 2020 Best Value Brand.
Did you know that your overall health can be affected by your oral health? Dr. Christian Lazar specializes in total mouth rehabilitation using state-of-the-art implant techniques that can restore your teeth in just one day. Dr. Lazar's Teeth Express is specifically designed to use the best products available to ensure the best long-lasting results. Call us today and let us design a customized treatment plan for your dental health.
The 29 Palms
We're taking a live look now at that Mount Rushmore event where President Trump is expected to attend. It looks like he's probably already there, moments away from stepping out on stage. 7,500 tickets were sold for the event. No social distancing, though, is being enforced, and face masks are optional. Fireworks displays expected, which will be the first time in 10 years they've been lit off the monument. The area surrounding Mount Rushmore contains many trees, which makes it dangerous for fireworks to be shot off in that area. Not to mention the possibility of damaging the monument itself. But just moments from now, President Trump will step out on stage for that 4th of July event at Mount Rushmore.
2 more people have been arrested for allegedly setting an Atlanta Wendy's on fire after the shooting of Rayshard Brooks. John Wade and Chisholm Kingston were arrested and charged with first-degree arson. Natalie White has also been charged in connection with that fire. She was reportedly Brooks's girlfriend.
Alabama voters will have to jump through a few more hoops to cast absentee ballots next election following a U.S. Supreme Court ruling last night. Alabama requires absentee voters to submit a copy of their ID and provide a voter affidavit that has 2 witness signatures or notarization. Lower court had blocked those requirements in 3 counties because of COVID-19, but the U.S. Supreme Court is allowing the requirements to remain in place for Alabama's July 14th Senate runoff.
Democrats want another round of direct stimulus payments similar to the ones that were sent out in April. House Democrats passed the $3 trillion bill, which would include another round of checks. President Trump says he's not ruling it out, but Senate Republicans are either on the fence or outright opposed to it.
As bars and restaurants across the U.S. close because of the pandemic, around the world, they're just beginning to reopen. Pubs, restaurants, museums, hotels, and other businesses in England will all open their doors for the first time Saturday. It sparked worries that after months of staying indoors, some could get carried away and risk spreading COVID-19. Venues will have to keep a record of all the customers who come in case there is a virus outbreak.
The UK is expected to designate the U.S. as a, quote, red list travel destination as case numbers here explode. Britain's transport secretary says the UK has things under control there, but the virus is still raging in our part of the world.
When we come back, we'll revisit the top stories people are talking about tonight, especially here locally. An unusually quiet 4th of July coming amidst a surge of coronavirus cases here in Riverside County. That's coming up next.
Plus, the U.S. Surgeon General has some words for Americans who don't want to wear the mask. We'll tell you about that.
And of course, 4th of July means one thing for most Americans: grilling, barbecuing. I know that's what it means for our family. We'll have some tips on to grill and how to do it safely this 4th of July.
You ready to start the day, Thalia?
You bet.
We got a lot to cover.
And I have something I want to tell you about in your health today.
Hey, it looks as though we have
Packed weekend for our hotels and restaurants before the fall, but with the beaches closed around the state and foot traffic still a little light, today many store owners told us they have low expectations for this holiday weekend.
To me, this is going to be no different than any other Monday or Tuesday. Hopefully people are being safe, and hopefully people who come here are respectful and know that you have to wear a mask on the sidewalks.
The city of Palm Springs says they have increased their code enforcement crews for the weekend, and they will be issuing citations for those who refuse to wear the mask.
Coronavirus coverage brought to you by East Valley COVID-19 testing site, serving residents of eastern Coachella Valley.
Riverside County's coronavirus numbers continue to rise steadily. In the last 2 weeks, the county has seen nearly 6,000 new cases. Riverside County is on a California watch list, not only for case counts, but for positivity rates as well. Experts say it's important for everyone to continue following state guidelines.
We've been told in no uncertain terms that the state will continue to evaluate and they will continue to take the actions that are necessary to blunt this surge that is going on statewide. If they want to go back to their normal lives, they need to do so within the context of following guidelines that include the hand washing, the facial coverings, the social distancing.
Officials also reiterated the statewide stay-at-home order is still in effect, and people should only be leaving their homes for essentials. Yeah, it's important to remember we are still under stay-at-home orders. We're taking a live look now from our Agua Caliente Casino Cam in Palm Springs. And if you're staying home this weekend, NBC Palm Springs meteorologist Jerry Steffen has you covered with a look at your forecast. Hi, Jerry.
Hey there. Yeah, hour and a half left of sun before it sets. 106, still hot outside. Winds 10 miles an hour out of the north right now. 12% relative humidity. Doing a temp check in and around the valley. 70 up at Big Bear. That began in the upper 30s this morning. 88 degrees at Yucca Valley. Clear. 99 at 29 Palms. 98 degrees. Currently at Desert Hot Springs. 106 Coachella. Indio 104. 106 at Palm Springs, Cathedral City, 103 Rancho Mirage at this hour. Clear skies and satellite imagery. Not much going on in Southern California. Dry weather pattern will continue for the next couple of days. Not the case in Arizona. They did see thunderstorms widely scattered central and northern parts of the state. That'll fizzle out, but reemerge again tomorrow. As far as our forecast, a little hotter as we move into the 4th of July. Today we were just below 110. Well, tomorrow we go north of that. 110 to 113 a range of highs. All sunshine tomorrow. Dew points a little higher too. Just a tad bit of humidity. We'll see those dew points in the upper 40s. Triple digits begin as early as 11 o'clock. And by 4 or 5 o'clock we'll hit our peak. Now, our Comfort Air 3-day forecast puts us up there again tomorrow, 112 Sunday, and then Monday, all sunshine again, still above 110 for the Coachella Valley. But what about the rest of the week? We'll explore that. Also, we'll check the tropics as well, all coming up in just a few minutes. Keep it here.
All right, thank you, Jerry. The United States Surgeon General, Dr. Jerome Adams, spoke on the importance of following health guidelines this holiday weekend. He says wearing masks will give people more freedom because with fewer cases, there's more places we can go and we can finally fully reopen.
And the most important thing I would say to people is if you do go out to a gathering or in public, please wear a face covering. As we talk about 4th of July and independence, it's important to understand that if we all wear these, we will actually have more independence and more freedom because more places we will be able to stay open. We'll have less spread of the disease.
Dr. Adams also spoke about the importance of wearing a mask specifically and how recommendations have evolved throughout the pandemic.
It's important for people to understand that we now know 40 to 50% of cases of coronavirus are spread asymptomatically, and that's different than any other coronavirus we've experienced before, which means you could have no symptoms, no cough, no fever, and still be someone who's spreading the disease. If people understand why they're doing it, they're going to be more likely to comply. If it's mandatory, they'll only do it when someone's watching.
Adams says younger people are one of the main groups who are spreading the disease by not wearing the mask.
The FDA issues a warning over a potentially poisonous ingredient found in some hand sanitizers. They say some products could be contaminated with methanol, which can be life-threatening if ingested and toxic if absorbed through the skin. The FDA warns, although some methanol-containing hand sanitizer was recalled, some of the tainted product could still be on store shelves.
Since COVID-19 hit, millions of young Americans have been forced to move back with mom and dad. Experts say that could have long-term effects on the housing market. 2.7 million Americans, mostly under the age of 25, have moved back home with mom and dad in the months of March and April of this year.
When you think about the size of the people that are moving back home, you're talking at around $726 million at risk that traditionally flows into that rental market. Now, rent non-payment or more people doubling up like this, moving back home, is causing the pressure to come off of rent growth.
Young people have been some of the hardest hit by job loss during the pandemic. Experts say the longer young people stay at home, the deeper the impact on the real estate market.
Travel is slowly starting to resume, but it's far from back to normal. A new survey by the American Hotel and Lodging Association finds only 44% of Americans are planning overnight vacation travel in 2020. That's way far from normal levels. Usually about 70% of Americans take a vacation. Road trips, family events, and long weekends over the summer months are of the highest interest right now. This 4th of July, a little preparation could go a long way keeping you and your family safe from both foodborne illness and coronavirus. Sarah Dolph has more.
For millions of Americans, nothing says happy 4th of July like the sizzle of a grill. And due to the pandemic, more small groups are expected to barbecue this year, prompting a reminder about food safety from the USDA.
We don't want to have a time that's a time of celebration turn into a time of hospitalization or sickness.
The department recommends a 4-step process: clean, separate, cook, and chill. So wash your hands, keep uncooked meat separate from other food, and heat it to the proper temperature. 160 degrees for sausage, 145 for steak, turkey and chicken to 165.
Those temperatures are important. We usually think, is it done? Is it palatable? But this is for food safety. So we want to make sure you cook it properly.
This year, serving up that food may look a little different.
I would say do not do a buffet style.
Pediatric infectious disease specialist Dr. Frank Esper suggests individually plated food instead to avoid potentially spreading COVID-19, especially when it comes to high-touch foods like chips and dip. Eating and celebrating outside is safer than indoors, but still make sure you're socially distancing.
This virus is still out there. It is still infecting people. It is still hurting people.
Staying safe and healthy this Independence Day. Sarah Dolph, NBC News.
All right, coming up next in sports, calls for the Washington Redskins to change their name have been renewed amid social unrest across the country. We'll have more on that when we come back.
Can you believe this weather? Let's check in with Paul from Comfort Air to tell us how we can deal with this heat and stay comfortable.
Thanks, Carol. And your 7-day forecast, hot, hot, hot. So you want to stay comfortable all summer long and replace your outdated system.
This Sunday, July 5th at 6:30 p.m. on KMIR, NBC Palm Springs, and Facebook Live.
Time now for a check on your sports headlines. NFL's Washington football team is facing a renewed push to get rid of the team's controversial nickname, which has been under fire for years. Now, several of the team's biggest sponsors are demanding a change. Many are hoping that new pressure and potential financial sting may finally cause the Redskins owner to reconsider. NBC's Jeff Bennett has more.
This morning, one of the original NFL teams under mounting pressure to change its controversial name. The Washington Redskins facing a new corporate and political push to scrap its name, widely viewed as a racial slur against Native Americans. FedEx, which owns the naming rights for the team's home stadium, requesting that the name given to the team in 1933 become a thing of the past. In a one-sentence statement, the delivery giant writing, "We have communicated to the team in Washington our request that they change the team name." Adweek magazine reporting that investment firms and shareholders worth $620 billion have requested that FedEx, as well as Nike and Pepsi, all terminate their ties with the franchise unless owner Daniel Snyder makes the change. Overnight, Nike appearing to remove all of the team's merchandise from its online store. The Washington team, which plays its home games in Landover, Maryland, not far from Washington, D.C., has been eyeing a potential relocation back to the district. But this week, several lawmakers telling the Washington Post that any move to D.C. would require a name change. Arizona Congressman Raul Grijalva saying, quote, "You either step into this century or you don't. It's up to the owner of the team to do that."
Change the name!
Snyder, who bought the franchise in 1999, has long resisted calls to alter the name, claiming it honors Native American heritage, even telling USA Today in 2013, quote, "We'll never change the name. It's that simple. Never. You can use caps." Several teams have faced similar pushback, like baseball's Cleveland Indians, who changed their logo amid a growing movement to confront racial inequality, including the removal of Confederate statues and the rebranding of companies rooted in stereotypes. Many hope a pro football team will be the next to act.
That was Jeff Bennett reporting. Major League Baseball has released its initial coronavirus test numbers. 31 players tested positive from the league's first round of tests, and another 7 staff members also positive. That represent 1.2% of the more than 3,000 tests they performed. The positives come from 19 of the 30 different teams. Major League Baseball has officially canceled this year's All-Star Game. The Midsummer Classic scheduled to be played at Dodger Stadium, but instead, Los Angeles will get to host the game in 2022. The 2021 All-Star Game is already scheduled to be in Atlanta. The coronavirus pandemic has canceled sporting events across the country and around the world this year, but it will not stop the greatest sporting event ever. The Nathan's hot dog eating contest will go on, but no fans can be there. Karen Kaifa explains.
Among traditions that will go on this Independence Day, one may surprise you.
It's going to be so different. Everything about it's different. Only thing the same are the hot dogs.
The Nathan's 4th of July hot dog eating contest. 12-time winner Joey Chestnut holds the contest record of 74 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes.
I'm happy that we're just trying to make something happen, and I think that's what everybody's trying to do. Just keep pushing and try to have some normalcy.
Some may question the wisdom of an eating contest in the midst of a global pandemic. Major League Eating, yes, competitive eating has a governing body, has ruled out screaming, sweaty crowds like these at the corner of Coney Island, Stillwell, and Surf by moving the competition indoors to a secret location. The invited field much smaller to allow seating 6 feet apart. Contestants and staff tested prior to competition, everyone wearing masks and gloves as much as they can. 6-time women's champion Mickey Sudo says it's a new world for her sport.
All of this is uncharted territory, but, and procedures and policies are going to have to grow, and we're all going to have to adapt to a new normal. But if there's any group of people that I trust with, crowd control, food safety, and sanitation, it's probably Major League Eating.
The contest makes an annual donation to the Food Bank for New York City, and Sudo says this year competitors will do a little extra.
So individual competitors have pledged to donate money to food banks of their choice, and also use this platform to raise awareness for essential workers that have helped us through and continue to help us through the pandemic.
The first recorded contest was in 1972, and Nathan says the first unofficial contest was in 1916. So a rare chance to adhere to a longtime tradition situation during a year that has brought anything but certainty. I'm Karen Kafa reporting.
All right, so something to look forward to this weekend. Something else to look forward to? Our own Jerry standing over there.
Yeah, it was hot today, but getting hotter tomorrow. Yeah, we're heating up for the holidays. The 4th of July will be above 110 under lots of sunshine. What about the days that follow? We'll check it out. That's next.
Covering young Madeline's vigil really showed me the kindness and the humanity here in Coachella Valley.
People, you never think it's going to reach your home, and
Be able to see this whole community come by and just show their support to this family, it was truly touching, and it showed me that people here in Coachella Valley, they have not forgotten what's most important, and that's just being kind.
NBC Palm Springs, where the reporting is the difference.
You're ready to drive again, and not just to the neighborhood store. In a new Honda, you can enjoy the open road with powerful performance. And your money can go farther too, because Honda holds its value better than any other auto brand. Your Honda dealer is offering flexibility, like shopping online, so you can purchase with confidence. Get your new Honda today. KBB.com's 2020 Best Value Brand.
Buongiorno from Mari's Italian Cafe, Valley's favorite Italian restaurant. Safety first. All 7 Mario's locations are open to serve you food and wine to go. Curbside service available. Enjoy all your favorite old world handcrafted Italian.
That'll be the course over the next couple of days. Clear skies, basically sunshine galore. Today we had temps that were kind of close to normal. 108, yeah, 2 away from the 106 average. We're going to add to that tomorrow. We move above 110 this afternoon, tomorrow afternoon rather. 106 right now at Palm Springs and Coachella. 103 under clear skies at Thousand Palms. 92 the number at Cabazon. 70 Big Bear, 87 degrees at Yucca Valley. Yeah, satellite imagery clear over the Coachella Valley. You knew that, right? And basically in a dry weather pattern, but not the case in Arizona. That's where the monsoon of moisture is. Jet stream kind of pulling over the state right now. And moving over the mountains, we saw thunderstorms develop there. Not the case for us. We'll stay in a dry weather pattern. High pressure moving those numbers up. A little hotter tomorrow for the 4th. 110 to 113, a range of highs, lots of sunshine. A light onshore flow will develop late in the day. But temperatures are going to warm up quite quickly tomorrow. We'll see triple digits as early as 11 o'clock tomorrow morning and eventually climbing to 110 or better for the Coachella Valley. Dew points a little higher than they were today. We'll see upper 40s by the middle of the afternoon. Tad bit of humidity out there. So specifically 110 on Independence Day for Palm Springs, 111 at Indio, above 100 degrees for the high desert, around 99 degrees at Cabazon under sunshine. Staying out late tomorrow night, temperatures will bottom out in the low 80s, so it's going to be a comfortable evening. As far as high pressure, it's still here, but it will strengthen a little bit, boosting those numbers a little hotter on Sunday and again on Monday. 111 to 114, the range of highs, including lots of 112s and 113s under sunshine Sunday, and similar numbers expected on Monday afternoon. Maybe a mountain cloud tomorrow morning. Otherwise, we're talking clear skies each and every day all the way through the middle of next week. Sunshine galore. Surface moisture. Yeah, a little bit of bump of moisture tomorrow, but that even dries out more. In fact, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we're expecting some areas to see single-digit relative humidity numbers by the middle of the afternoon. Okay, tropics real quickly, an update here. Tropical wave, it's been a wave over the past couple of days. It's being sheared apart. Upper-level winds coming out of the east, moving its way to the west and tearing the cloud tops off. That's not going to help development, but it could settle down as you move into the next couple of days as it makes its way to the west-northwest. That could become a tropical depression over the weekend. Okay, your Comfort Air 7-day forecast, 110 tomorrow, a hot 112, and that'll be the low end of the Coachella Valley on Sunday. Monday still up there, Tuesday likewise. Numbers back off a little bit Wednesday, Thursday, but we're still talking hot weather for the Coachella Valley.
In tonight's Showbiz Report, the film version of the hit Broadway musical Hamilton is now available to stream on Disney+. Tickets for the production were incredibly hard to get, but fans can now enjoy the movie version on demand. Like the play, the film stars Lin-Manuel Miranda in the lead role, the Pulitzer Prize-winning musical, which won 11 Tonys. They say they have cleaned up some of the lyrics for the Disney version. Coming up next, Sandy Newton has an announcement from the Living Desert in tonight's NBC Cares Silver Linings.
Dateline tonight. A girl's night out leaves a best friend missing.
She would have been with me. She would have been safe.
The investigation that led to a surprising end.
In the history of my department, that's never happened.
Dateline tonight, 9/8 Central.
With Governor Newsom's announcement earlier in the week that zoos must close, many in the valley were left wondering, well, what that meant for our living desert. NBC Cares' Sandy Newton has some good news for all animal lovers.
Well, this is a true silver lining for our valley. The living desert has some good news, so we want to welcome Alan Monroe. Welcome, Alan. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, it's my pleasure. Glad to come and join you.
Well, you know, I know that the governor's orders were a little confusing. We've had to, of course, reclose some attractions and restaurants and bars, of course, to stop the spread, which we all understand. But we want everyone to understand that there's an important update from the living desert. So please share it with us.
Absolutely. You know, about 4 weeks ago, the governor's orders let institutions like the living desert that had outdoor opportunities to open back up. And then this last few days ago, the governor came out with this new revised that said that zoos were on the prohibited list, but the fine print said that the indoor facilities for zoos had to be closed, not zoos in general. And so the good news is that since we reopened on last month, we have already implemented everything the governor has been asking for from day one. So we've already closed our indoor facilities. We only had a few. And we put in place all these standard COVID safety concerns that we have in terms of social distancing, hand sanitizer, time ticketing, to make sure that everybody feels as safe and comfortable when they come and visit our wonderful facility.
Well, that is such great news for all of us, because I know during the pandemic, when you did have to close, it's an enormous expense to keep the animals healthy and fed. So you really do welcome visitors because, of course, economics are crucial to keeping our living desert thriving.
They are, and of course we're part of the local community, so we were glad to be able to shut down early on and help slow down the spread of the COVID virus. But for a nonprofit like us that has such a high fixed operational cost, you know, we can't just close our doors and walk away. We've got, you know, hundreds of animals that require medical and veterinary and animal care and feeding and things like that. And so we have a pretty high, it costs us about $22,000 a day just to operate the zoo at the core, very minimum amount of staff just to keep us going.
Well, we are so happy because I understand you actually have a new exhibit that you were going to debut at the end of March, but because of the pandemic, you weren't able to, and it involves some of our Australian friends.
Yes, our friends from down under. And so we have a new animal experience called Australian Adventures. It was scheduled to open up on March 21st, and we actually had to close on March 17th. So the wallabies spent about 3 months waiting for their debut and their chance to shine in the sun. And so when guests come to the park now, they've got this new wonderful habitat. It's a little unique in that it's designed so it's an immersive habitat. The guests are invited to come into the wallaby space. The wallabies are free roaming. We ask the guests to stay on the pathway, and the wallabies can come and go as they please, so it's a chance to get up close and personal. We're in our summer season right now, so the park opens up at 7 a.m. And the last ticket is at 1 o'clock, and then we close the park at 1:30. And because we have time ticketing, you can go online now and reserve your time. So if you're an early bird, you can get there bright and early at 7 o'clock when it's still nice and cool and enjoy the park and have it almost to yourself on any given day.
Sounds like a date. Thank you so much, Alan, for joining us. We'll see you at the Living Desert.
My pleasure.
It was such an amazing experience being able to be there with the protesters in Palm Desert because it's not
And soon. Brighter Side of the News is brought to you by Holland RV, located off the I-10 at Washington.
All right, last chance to tell you about this. Tomorrow night, Agua Caliente Resort Casino Spa Rancho Mirage hosting the Valley's only fireworks show. We're going to bring it to you live on our sister station, KPSC. If you're on Spectrum, that's channel 20, so you can enjoy it from home. Now, if you can't get out there, you can also watch it right here on NBC Palm Springs, a replay at 11 o'clock. Now, if you are coming out, again, you must get there earlier because it's always packed, but they are reducing capacity this year to keep social distancing between the cars. So come out even earlier than you have before if you want to guarantee yourself a spot. Now, you can come out, you can stay at home. Either way, it's a good time.
Stay at home like me or go out there like Gino. Are you a Sarah or are you a Gino?
That's right. I'm being forced to go out there against my will, but it's going to be fun nonetheless. See you at 11.
America's Game is celebrating the great cities of South Florida.
And the fun starts now.